Hi, I'm Georgia Freeman, I'm 22 and I'm currently in my third year studying BA Photography at ARU. One of the main reasons that I like photography is that you can use the process of image creating to portray different ideas and concepts. For example, I can look at the way that I'm posing models and how this can help to break gender stereotypes. Last year was when I really began to focus on fashion in my photography. You can see in these film shots I began to experiment more with lighting and the different posing that the models could do. I had Sylvia pose in direct sunlight, which was something new to work with too, and play about with shadows. Once I had an idea of what I wanted to specialise in, I used it as an opportunity to experiment as much as I could, playing about with colours, angles, the outfits that models were wearing, and also combining all of these elements to create different atmospheres when you see a photograph so they don't all look the same. One of the main techniques that I like to play around with in my work are the angles that the models shot from. For example, if you shoot from a lower angle, you can have them above you, and this can switch around and highlight their power position above you. For the concept of this image in this location, I wanted the shot to feel more dramatic and the model to appear more powerful, so by shooting from a lower angle it meant that the viewer will automatically appear to be looking up towards the subject, giving them the power. Whereas, in these other photographs I wanted to depict a more angelic and innocent feel to go along with the fairy tale style images I had in mind for this shoot, so by shooting from a higher angle it widened the model's eyes and she appeared more innocent. For this next set of images on the same shoot, I wanted to explore more this idea of changing the styling and location to create a different mood and atmosphere. Thinking about how styling can change the overall look of the image, I went with an all black outfit paired with a dark lip, and for location decided to shoot with the model sat on this old worn bench in front of the dead branches to create a moody grunge look. Moving on to the next shoot, I knew I wanted to delve deeper into how I use available light and challenge myself to shoot in a situation where the subject was backlit. The challenge for me was to make sure that the model's face was still being lit, so by using a reflector and angling the light up towards her, I was able to bring back some brightness into her face. In this shot, I was interested in adding depth to the photograph by placing the model underneath this blossom tree. I was able to have the blossom show in the foreground and background with the model immersed in the middle. I feel this helped to make the photo more interesting, and paired with the blurry blossom in the foreground and background, it leads the viewer's focus to the subject in frame. Thinking more about themes I wanted to photograph, I wanted to explore the idea of masculinity and femininity. I wanted to change outfits and locations and shoot Yasmin in a two-piece suit looking straight through the lens. I knew after doing this shoot that exploring the boundaries between gender and fashion and power dressing was something I wanted to take further into my future work. To improve my work, I knew I wanted to shoot more male models. This was then when I had the opportunity to shoot Jo up in Liverpool. The main concept behind this shoot was to learn and familiarise how to shoot and pose male models, which was something I hadn't really experimented much with in my past work. For this outfit, I wanted it to stand out against the background, so keeping the surroundings bright and simplistic, we went for a location in Liverpool that was high up, which meant there was lots of natural light available, and the emptiness of the area meant the viewer doesn't get distracted from the subject. Switching outfits and locations throughout the shoot meant I could get the model to interact with the different surroundings available, like leaning against a wall, which frames the subject, or getting him to sit on the floor, which changes the angles. One main aspect in my work which I knew I wanted to explore more if I was to specialise in the field of fashion was shooting full body shots more often. From this photo shoot in September, I took inspiration and ideas for posing full body shots along with me and began to apply these techniques into my work. Colour played a big part in my inspiration for this photo shoot. I explored 90s fashion and the way primary colours were used a lot of the time in editorial shoots and advertisements. By planning the model to wear a bright orange top, I went with this empty pool as a shoot location, as the blue worked well in contrast to the orange. Studio shooting was something I wanted to try with a male model. After contacting Joe, we were able to arrange outfits for shooting in this inside environment. I wanted to keep the setup for this shoot simple and allow the model's personality and outfits to be the main focus. Fashion for me isn't as simple as taking a picture of a garment and submitting it. I like to think about the overall picture and effect the photograph can have on an audience, and take into account the potential story each photograph can tell and the atmosphere it can create. Taking into account the technical aspects of photography, I like to use them to produce an aesthetic that can help convey the narrative of the project. My plans for my current project are to dive deeper into how genders can be portrayed differently in fashion photography, where theories such as the male gaze can be broken down and changed. I have plans to break posing stereotypes for each gender, placing males and females into the other gender's position. I'm currently doing a lot of research into the depiction of men and women in photography throughout history, and I plan on using this knowledge to inform how I photograph in my upcoming shoots. And how the explored elements I've mentioned throughout this presentation can be utilised to help inform my decision making when it comes to planning my work. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope that you enjoyed looking through some of my work. If you'd like to see some more, I do have a website, it's georgiafreemanphotography.com, or I do have an Instagram which is just Georgia Sky Freeman.